Hello Internet, Pokemon Sun and Moon have less than a week to their release and there's a new type of monster, the Ultra Beasts. We're not sure yet what they are. All we do know is that there's a total of 8, but it's thought that you'll get 7 in each version of the game, because there's UB02, Beauty and Absorption. So it's thought that you'll get Beauty in one, Absorption in the other. One theory put forward by Lockstinch/Noggin in his Pokemon Reboot theory is that the 7 Ultra Beasts represent the 7 angels who signaled the beginning of Armageddon, the end of the world in Christianity. Which works nicely if Pokemon Sun and Moon are actually the last games before a reboot. However, the latest Ultra Beast, UB05 Glutton, suggests to me that they may have another meaning. The meaning is that they are the 7 deadly sins. Gluttony is one of the sins. So each Ultra Beast represents one of the 7 deadly sins. No, not one of those 7 deadly sins. The actual sins in Christianity, Greek. Well, there's different ones for all sorts of different mythology. And there is wrath, envy, greed, sloth, lust, gluttony, and pride. 7. However, in the original Greek actually had 8. My theory is that each of the Ultra Beasts in Pokemon Sun and Moon will represent one of the 7 deadly sins, as I've just said. So let's take each Ultra Beast and compare it to one of the 7 deadly sins.
Okay, so first up is UB01. Its description on the official Pokemon website says, UB01's body is composed of a glass-like substance. However, it's constantly changing shapes, never settling on one. While evidence of something like a survival instinct can be observed in UB01, nobody knows whether it has a will of its own, or any emotions. It's said that for some reason, its movements resemble those of a young girl. Okay, so, getting first things first out of the way, the young girl it resembles is obviously Lily, as other Ultra Beasts resemble other characters. Now, nothing in UB01's description seems to have a comparison to one of the current sins, but it may link to one of the 2 historical sins described in Wikipedia. The first of the historical sins is acedia. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, so kill me if I am. But acedia is described in the Oxford Concise Dictionary of the Christian Church as a state of restlessness and an ability to either work or pray. UB01 doesn't show emotion, so it could have some link of emotion because acedia is also has something to do with emotion. The fact that it changes shape could show its restlessness, and maybe that could be why the Ultra Beasts are starting to seep into the world. We don't know. But these links are a little unlikely. The only other thing I can think of is that acedia is seen as a precursor to sloth, which could show how it's linked to the other Ultra Beasts. So UB01 could be the precursor to the other Ultra Beasts, and this links in nicely with the other sin it could be, which is vanity. The fact that it's made of a glass-like substance, and that people who constantly look in mirrors and are obsessed with their own image are described as vain. Vain could also be linked to the sin of pride, which it could be linked with the way acedia links with sloth. However, that's as far as I can really seem to find any sort of a connection. But like I said, UB01 being linked with sloth and pride because it represents 2 of the historical sins, linking it to the modern sins, could be something, but I don't know, it just seems a little far-fetched. Okay, next up is UB02 Absorption. This is the first of the UB02s. So UB02 Absorption's entire body is covered with bulging, powerful muscles. The full force of a punch powered by these muscles would be off the charts. Its distinctively long mouth is said to be harder than diamond. Pokemon Gen 4 remakes confirmed. Could the Ultra Beast also use it to attack? This Ultra Beast seems to resemble a mosquito, bugs which are notorious for sucking blood and spreading disease. The name Absorption and the mosquito sucking blood could mean that UB02 Absorption could be the sin of greed. Yes, eating heavily is gluttony, but UB05 is already gluttony. So how could something like UB02 Absorption be greed? Well, in the Greek version of the sins, greed was a want for wealth, status, and power. What if the long mouth sucks out the power of people and Pokemon? This could work, although rather than it being political or social power, it's physical power, which would make sense because mosquitoes aren't ordinarily very big and bulky. So the fact that UB02 absorption is big and bulky and resembles a mosquito could show how it's been absorbing the power of people and Pokemon. Just an idea. So I think that UB02 could quite honestly be greed. If you have any other ideas, I'd like to see them. But the description even suggests that the Ultra Beast could use its mouth to attack, and it resembles the stinger on a mosquito, which sucks blood. So it just makes sense that it would be greed, because it sucks out power and wants to be powerful. In fact, the character it resembles in Pokemon Sun and Moon could want power himself, which could show their link. I don't know. Just some ideas. Okay, and the third Ultra Beast is UB02 Beauty. Its narrow, graceful legs allow it to accelerate with such explosive speed that people can say it can dodge lightning. It is said that any Pokemon that sees UB02 Beauty, regardless of its own gender, will become infatuated with it and lose the will to battle. The exact reason for this reaction, whether it's the result of an unidentified pheromone exuded by UB02's beauty, or a hypnotic effect induced by its appearance, has not been determined. Straight away, my thoughts went to the sins Pride and Lust. Pride in her appearance, or lust the other Pokemon have for the Ultra Beast. But reading the description has made me think that it's probably lust, such as the emphasis on Pokemon not wanting to battle because of its beauty. However, it could be sloth to make the Pokemon lazy, but I don't quite see that. I think it's more likely to be lust. The description doesn't say anything about UB02 being particular about its appearance or having pride in itself, and if so, and if that was a significant part of its personality, I'm pretty sure that would be in the description, because it's the kind of thing Pokemon does. If there's a significant part a Pokemon has, or an Ultra Beast has in its personality, it will be in its Pokedex entry, its description, it will be somewhere. Maybe it'll be revealed later, but this early on, I think something as significant as other Pokemon not wanting to battle because of its beauty, I think it's likely to be lust. Okay, and the fourth confirmed Ultra Beast is UB03 Lightning. However, there's no description for this on the Pokemon website, so there's very little to work with. When I rewatched the trailer, at first I thought that the red aura in the latest trailer could suggest anger, aka wrath, which could link to the lightning, but unfortunately afterwards I saw UB05 Glutton surrounded with a red aura, so that's a bust. That's pretty much all I have to work with for this one, so we'll have to wait for the game's release or for a description, but the lightning could suggest that it's a powerful attacker, which would suggest wrath. Who knows? Okay, and finally, we have UB05 Glutton. This beast has an astounding appetite, and it will completely devour anything in front of its eyes. It's said that it devours not only objects, but the ground, rivers, and even the seas. Despite the abnormal amount this beast consumes, it's said that it doesn't produce any waste products. Did Pokemon just make a reference to shit? It's possible that it's completely converting everything it eats to sustain itself, but the true details remain unknown. Okay, so there's not really much to say about this, as the sin it probably represents is literally in the name, UB05 Glutton. So it's clearly gluttony, the fact that it eats. This one is gluttony, there's not really much to argue, unless you completely overanalyze and it turns out to actually be vanity. But who knows?
Okay, and that is all the Ultra Beasts that have been released for now. We'll have to wait until either more Ultra Beasts are confirmed, or till the games have been released to see if I'm right. And here's just another quick reason that the Ultra Beasts may represent the 7 deadly sins. Full Metal Alchemist. I know, two completely unrelated things, but I don't know if it's just a series of coincidences, but there are lately some similarities to Full Metal Alchemist and Pokemon. So lately Pokemon has been throwing in aspects of alchemy, for example the symbols of each of the starters, and Rockruff, all the elements supposedly needed to create a Philosopher's Stone, and Silvally, and Type Null, the same Pokemon, just type null is Silvally bound. But Silvally seems to represent a Philosopher's Stone because it seems to have all the aspects of the starters and Rockruff. And then also, apart from the references to alchemy, Solgaleo's full metal body. Again, could be a coincidence, or the fact that Beware is the strong arm Pokemon and likes to show affection, and is kind of like Major Armstrong, maybe? But what's significant about the Ultra Beasts and Full Metal Alchemist are the homunculi in Full Metal Alchemists, each named after a 7 deadly sin. Which is interesting, maybe. So, maybe, I don't know, if Pokemon are actually taking inspiration from Full Metal Alchemist, then it is extremely likely. Because like I said, there's Solgaleo's ability, Full Metal Body, and Beware the Strong Arm Pokemon. Beware the Strong Arm Pokemon. So yeah, anyway, that's it. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you want to see more of this shit, subscribe.